what the heck is that thing? I guess it's like a claw. I don't know, from one angle I was like it was a big hand. Yeah, a skeletal hand, and then another... Oh, wait. Oh, I see it now. So from there, it's a Sarnak skull. Take that. And now we're about to hit the genie room. Since the genies are there, but there we got a couple more of these Sarnaks to take out. And then we'll head up to the genie room. The genie room. Dun 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 dun. I dream of genie. Take that. And there you go. A little bit. Oh, I never really noticed the tattoos before. That's neat. Here they come. Bam. Let's see. Shadow says, "Hey Jay, does the dungeon finder work like what do you do? Is like World of Warcraft's dungeon system?" Oh, first there was a... Which layout is that again? I was a bit late tuning in. Oh, which layout was this? Do we remember checking what layout this was for the dungeon before we came in? We'll take a peek here real quick. Does it say? Because I don't know if it was... Might be the layer of scale. But, oh. No, we totally didn't point that out when we first came in. I didn't even think to look that up. I just remember picking it because it was a huge dungeon. So, we'll see if we can figure that out here when we get done. And then the dungeon finder system. The dungeon finder system. How have you used that? The dungeon finder system.
From what I understand, it sticks you in a group and it doesn't give your level 1. Do not always give groups more balance for you.
Okay. So my wife's saying that from her knowledge of the dungeon system is... What is that thing? Can I kill it? No. Here they come. Is basically it's going to stick you in a dungeon that's about your level requirements with a random group, and it doesn't mean it's going to be a good group. It just kind of sticks you in with other folks who want to run that dungeon if you can't find folks. So I really don't know how the... Yeah, she hasn't used it. She always runs with like her guild and stuff, and so she hasn't tried it, and I haven't. So that might be something I'll try. Maybe get better word out on the dungeon finder. And then because I've not played the World of Warcraft one at all, I have no idea how the World of Warcraft one works. Although I hear the World of Warcraft one is pretty fine-tuned. Just by what I hear from Everquest 2, is it was a system that just hasn't... I guess it's just not as popular as maybe it is in World of Warcraft, so it might not be feeling quite the same love and refinement that World of Warcraft has. But I could totally be wrong on that. So if anybody happens to know about Dungeon Finder, you know, they could certainly share that insight with me so I can get that out. Because if it's a good system, you know, I don't mind sharing news about good systems. That's why I do like the player-generated content. I think player-generated content's outstanding, but it doesn't get the attention it deserves. Hello, spiders. And then that room looks pretty clear. And so, for just looking around the room, architecture, I have a feeling they probably had to add in some of them shrooms and stuff. I just don't see this normally. Oh! Better help her out. Take a look at some architecture here in a sec. Oh, hello. I can't see through the very tall lady. The very tall snake lady. Ah, we got it. Oh, and then a smaller snake lady. Oh, she's got seashells, so that must be like an underwater snake lady.
Mushrooms, the plants, it's
Okay, my wife, she really knows the player housing stuff. She says all the mushrooms and this brazier here, probably the weapon racks.
the weapon racks probably came with the place.
She says her guess weapon racks might have come with it and they were just rearranged, but she's guessing on the weapon racks.
Grass player meeting.
She says the piles of grass are player made.
The fog is player entered.
The fog is player entered. Maybe not made is the word, but entered. Oh, she says it's from Knights of the Dead. Kind of uncanny that she can do that. Come on. Don't be shy, dragons. So now we've gone past the genies, and we went past the snake peoples, and now we're moving on to some dragons. Lots and lots of dragons. Oh my gosh, hold on, does this pull up on a map? Where am I at? Whew. What are we looking at? Maybe 50 minutes in, and I'm near the end-ish, whereas before, like 3 hours it took me to do solo. Amazing. My wife says, yes I am. Yes, she is amazing. Oh, well there you go. If we pull the whole room, then maybe we'll get through it even quicker. Ouch. Well, if we get the beat down, my rule of thumb is as long as we can kill some, then it'll just be that much easier for when we come back to it. Oh, I gotta get the... Hold on, if I can kill... Ah, shoot. Because if you can kill the magic user, I think she can kill those. I'm gonna go ahead and start running back to her, though. Oh, and I gotta rearrange. I think she's got him. Yep, she got him. Yeah, that's a cool thing about the summoners in this one. If you kill the summoner, then the pet dies too. So I always try to make sure I target out the summoners. Easier said than done sometimes when you've got all kinds of spells and stuff going on and you're trying to tab target through the chaos, but if you can manage it, that will make it that much easier. Hello, plushy Eye of the Beholder guy. I do like that. Now, what would be really, really cool for me when they first said they were doing like the dungeon editor, I thought it would have been cool if you could actually design the layout yourself, kind of like dungeon tiles or something from Dungeons and Dragons, but you can put the layout, you can put the floors, and really, really build your own dungeon. I just take a look at this room again. But that would be very cool. You know, and you never know what they'll add, because when they started with housing, you know, they started with like 1-in rooms, and then eventually, you know, brought in all the big rooms, and then eventually the 1-in rooms became 2-room inns. So who knows? They might actually come with a full dungeon designer. Let me just pull these back to her. Let's see, Shadow said, is it worth it to get him out early on in the game? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's always worth it to get him out. Definitely. And because they have so many mounts to choose from, it's really hard to go wrong. Well, I'll say this, it depends on what you want to do in the game. Because I think it is worth it. I just remember, I mean, nowadays you can get like some run buffs and stuff, and then they've got like the world teleports. You know, like if you go to the docks and you can go anywhere. Really nowadays the mounts are just a nice, just a nice way to get around. Are they important to the game like they may have been when the game first came out? I don't think so. I mean, it's nice to get something that gives you 110% run buff. But I remember when the game first came out. Oh, now she says it's 130% standard for a lot of mounts. So it's like, yeah, they're ridiculously fast. You're going to travel. If you can get a mount, you're going to be able to move and book around. So I would say do it. You know, is it detrimental right away? She says, what now? She's looking up. There's like, oh, she's going to type in an answer for you. I guess there's going to be like a free mount coming up here pretty soon. She's going to type it in the chat, and I'll read it out for those who can't see the chat once she types it. But yeah, mounts are always good. I mean, that's any game. If you can get a mount. If I just remember back in the day, like the Paladin, he would cast his spell he would hit level 20. Okay, he would get level 20, and he got a spell to cast to call his warhorse, his steed, and it was like a 10% run buff. So it was like faster than walking, but it wasn't as fast as like the run buff that a thief got at like level 6 or something like that. So it was kind of like a real letdown. But nowadays, yeah, mounts are plentiful. You might as well get one. And there's so many ways to get it. Either questing in game, purchase it in game, and they're not terribly expensive anymore. You don't have to read a book to learn how to ride a mount. Some games you have to buy a book and the mount. This you just get the mount and go. Or if you don't feel like waiting in the game, you could go check the station, and you know, for I don't know if they're like $20. I guess it depends on the mount and if it's on sale, but you can even buy mounts for cash if you wanted to pick one up. So yeah, they're easy to get. So I mean, if you get it, might as well grab them. All right, let's pull some of these guys. The cheapest one she knows of from the market is $750. The Grotto. Okay, so she says Brownie Grotto on the 20th of the month in Greater Feydark Nursery has a 20 charge unicorn mount. Okay, 20 charges, so I guess that's what, 20 uses? Say 20 charge. Oh, until you cancel it. So basically you summon it, you ride it, and once you actually cancel it, it'll use up 20 charges, but you get 20 charge. And nowadays, the way that the mounts work, I mean, that's actually a very good thing, because back in the day, if you tried to cross a river on a horse, it would kick you off your horse. That would have been a charge. But now you can like combat from your horseback, harvest from your horseback, or mount whatever you ride, not just a horse, but whatever your mount is, you can just live in the saddle. Yeah. Oh, it's probably gonna pull Goatman. Nope. Where you at? There you are. Oh, no eligible target. There it is. Take that for eligible. Okay. She's gonna pull, but this is what this room looks like. Just taking a quick little peek. Well lit. Cool fire. She says the fire comes from the goatmen in the Great Divide. So you're saying he added that, or? Oh. She says it's a meditation pit and it was added. And she says the floating sphere is from a quest in Thurgadin. She's like the Rain Man of Everquest 2 items. It's pretty amazing. Housing items. She's only housing items, she says. Clarify. Housing items. She's like the Rain Woman of housing items. Font of useless knowledge. Oh. I keep trying to target the dead ones that are just standing there. Okay, see, like, here's a good example of try and hit all those wizards, because you kill the wizzy, then it's going to kill the pet.